Podcast Pro Bravo Lima Alpha Kilo Echo is ready for boarding in bay number 2. Will the scheduled listening team please report to the boarding area? Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Opposite Attractions, the experimental prototype podcast of tomorrow. I am your host, Scottye Moore, joined as always by the Imagineer in training, my good buddy, Mr. Jim Murphy. Jim, how are you?
I am here. I apologize for taking a week off.
Yeah, well, it's kind of both of our faults. Because I
had a sick pet, so
yeah, you had a sick pet. Meanwhile, I had wasps in my internet, not like just around. They were in the internet. I woke up.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Yes, a whole swarm of them, and I was just like, "Look, guys, I just want to get on Pornhub," and they're like, "No, that's against the Jesus," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry." So yeah, that's what's gone wrong with my. I did not have internet all of last week, so that was always fun. And another thing,
it's not like you do that for your hobby or anything.
No. And so, I am noticing you have your Lanuba popcorn bucket.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it was in frame. My apologies.
Yes. Yeah, in tribute of another.
And I purchased it after the Disney Spring Switch, but it still says Downtown Disney West Side on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, that's another thing going away. Like, my precious DisneyQuest. DisneyQuest is gone!
I hate to break it to you, but it wasn't precious to anyone. Even the employees probably didn't want to be there.
I'll be 100... No, because during my Disney Springs traditions... one of the guys who was like introducing us worked at DisneyQuest, and he was, I think, the only person in the world pumped about DisneyQuest. He was like, "I work there," and I'm like, "Okay."
Most of the people that do traditions are pumped about whatever they do. I think it's part of the job description of working traditions.
Yeah, just try to be excited about it. What is it that you do? I try to make the Wreck-It Ralph game work. Oh well, just try to make it cool.
There's a Wreck-It Ralph game?
Wait, do you not know about this? Yes.
Wait, I know there's the little Fix-It Felix
that's what I meant.
machine.
That's
okay,
what
I thought
meant.
like there was an actual
No. There's just the Fix-It
crazy.
Felix.
Yeah, I tried to make Millipede work from 1985.
See, I remember the first time I went to Disney at all was when they first announced DisneyQuest was closing, and I was just like, "Oh my God, there's a giant arcade. We have to go. We have to go."
So what? 2006?
No.
What is this?
No,
it's been kind of on its last legs for a good decade.
Was it 20? It might have been 2016, 20. It might have been last year, I think.
But that was. You're saying the first time you went to DisneyQuest was then you heard it was closing.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like. Okay.
Yeah, and so I literally begged my parents. I was like, "I have no money. Will you please give me the money to go to DisneyQuest?" Which, now that I see how easily you can get into DisneyQuest for free, that was bullshit. So
yeah, it's like 58. It was like $58 toward the end, I think.
I think
65.
We paid $50 a piece. So for $100, we went into DisneyQuest. We played Fix-It Felix. We played. We got on the Aladdin ride, which, a lot of people made a big deal about because they're like, it's the first virtual reality game. It's amazing, the first of its kind.
Yeah, and then you remember that DisneyQuest opened in 1998.
Well, not
it kind of takes away from it a little.
No, not only that, it's like smash cut after this is the first of its kind, an amazing virtual reality experience. Cut to me on the fake magic carpet like I'm stuck in a wall. Guys, I need to move. Guys, I'm stuck. Guys, this is horrible.
I never could get the Jungle Cruise whitewater rafts to work very well.
Oh, yeah, the fake Jungle Cruise was pretty much the worst thing on the planet. Because I was just like, what do I...
And they tell you you're going to get wet, and I didn't. And they're like, if it works. That's literally what they told me.
If it works!
Yeah,
That's
you might
great.
get wet if it works.
That was one. That's actually, I feel bad. The last Disney experience I had was going to DisneyQuest. Because
I only went 4 times maybe. I was the shit at a Mighty Ducks Pinball Slam or whatever the hell that thing's called.
Here's the Mighty.
I was the shit.
The Mighty Ducks was the first game we played, and we realized something very important. If you're placed on the correct pedestal, you kick ass at that game.
All you have to do is get your ball in the you can't do it now because it's now a flat plane of Earth. But all you had to do was get your ball in the bottom left-hand corner and go in a circle, and you were pretty much guaranteed to rack up points.
Oh no!
I was beating the people behind second place by 3 or 4 times their score.
Well, with us, you could tell certain ones were broken and they didn't want to admit it, and then there was one that really kicked ass, and that was mine. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll be damned if I ain't got it going, baby. Let's do this.
That's all I did when they did cast member only, get in free for a night or whatever. That's all I did for 2 hours, and I just wrecked everyone in my path.
See, the last 30 last 60 30 days any cast member got in for free, which is why the last day I was in Orlando, they were like, hey, come on, we're gonna go to Magic Kingdom, spend your last day, you can go see the new show and everything. Then unfortunately the person I was picking up was up at oh god, what's the college down there?
UCF?
Yeah, UCF. So I had to drive up to UCF and then drive back, and I believe it was roughly 8 o'clock at night.
This is going to probably make you upset. UCF, I listened to a couple other Disney podcasts, and UCF has an amazing, Disney archive of, stuff that, their lawyers put together, and art, and all kinds of crazy shit.
Dude, that's awesome.
That I really want to go and dig around in, but I don't know exactly how to go about doing that. But apparently they're trying to make a bigger archive that's,
yeah,
theme park, history of theme park entertainment, but it's going to be mostly Disney stuff.
Yeah. I'm just mad that one of my last days, the only last day I really had to celebrate the magic that was Disney, I was forced to go to DisneyQuest because traffic on I-4 was a bullshit.
Did you go up the elevator or did you go in the back way?
To where?
In DisneyQuest. Did you go up?
We went up the elevator.
Because I only remember going up the elevator once.
Oh, no, we went up the elevator a lot.
And seeing the... Well, no, I mean, at the beginning, because they do the little... There was I remember there being a pre-show with, the genie.
Oh,
you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I think I may... I know the last day I was there, that shit wasn't working, but I think there might have been something.
There was a thing, when you walked in, the first thing you did was get on the elevator and go up to, the 3rd floor, and between the 1st floor and the 3rd floor was, a video with the genie basically being here's what's on every floor.
Yeah.
And I don't remember ever doing that other than that one time. And I was like, this is pretty amazing. And then I never saw it again.
Right. Yeah, I remember walking around it. The floors that actually have arcade games are all right for the ones that actually...
Did you do the game with the bumper cars and the ball and the cannons? Did you do that?
Oh wait, hold on. Are you? Oh wait, no, I know. It's
called. It's Buzz Light. I think it's a Buzz Lightyear branded.
Yeah, I know. We
thing.
never got on it the first time because it was broken. The second time because we were like, no.
I got it. It was horrifying. Is what that is good. Because you have very thin plexiglass in front of you, and people were shooting giant rubber balls at your head.
Well, if I remember correctly. Wasn't there a Pirates of the Caribbean game, and the way you fired the cannon was there was this little rope attached to the end of the cannon, and you just pulled on it?
Yes.
But you could go as much as you want. So to the people watching in through this glass window, all they saw was me from behind with this cord in my hand, just yes, I'm shooting.
Did you? How many people were in the thing with you? Just you by yourself?
That was I'll say a whole two. A whole two people.
Because that was fun when you go in there with 2 people, because you'd run back and forth and you look like lunatics if you're on camera.
Oh no, I took all of the Jack Sparrow in me and released it at once. I was like, alright, I'm gonna take care of the right part of the ship now. You go over to the left. Don't you dare leave any of those cannons. I'm gonna go to the right. Now I left, they're like, are you drunk? No, I'm just talented.
But I want to point out that there was also a DisneyQuest in Chicago. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
It lasted about a year and a half, and then they closed it.
And then the shooting happened, and then you were like, no.
Yeah, no, it was in 98, 99 range. And apparently it made a profit, but not enough for Disney. And so they're like, screw it, shut it down. Because they wanted to put those everywhere.
They would do better anywhere else, I think.
Well, no, I think the problem is that what they wanted to do was put them in, and then like, oh, in 3 years we'll add stuff and take some stuff out, and we'll keep swapping in and out. I call it the Fantasia problem.
Yeah.
Where Walt Disney wanted to put out Fantasia, and then like every 5 years put it back out with like new pieces in it, and take old stuff out and just keep re-releasing it, keep trying to make money.
Yeah.
But like in Florida, like they put it in, and I don't know if they ever put anything new in after that.
I'm almost positive.
Well,
given that there was a Mighty Ducks ride in 2017.
So yeah, I think they just kind of got over their head a little bit on, because if you think about it, to put anything new in, you have to shut part of it down, and like there wasn't that much in there to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this new interactive ride. It's not gonna be ready for 4 months. While you're waiting, just play Galaga.
Yeah. I mean, I would have done it. They were like, play Galaga for free. Hell yeah! Play Guitar Hero for free. Yes!
I just don't think in the age... and also the thing is that between 1998 when it opened and say 2005, technology kind of really left that place in the...
Yeah.
really left it behind, and they really were kind of like, okay, so... Because who the hell plays arcade games, really?
Hey, buddy, my family owns an arcade game, and I've worked in arcades my whole life. Don't say that to me. That's sad.
Okay. Who goes to Disney World to play arcade games?
Now,
to pay $50 to play arcade games.
Yeah, the $50 price tag I think is really what jacked it up. So anyways, this is a show where we create our own theme park, but apparently also a third of it is us shitting on other theme parks. But of course, I think we're winding down with Apex finally.
Yeah, this is 11. So we got, I'm thinking 2 or 3 more before we figure out what's actually going to be in the park.
And it is our theme park that is all superhero themed, and since we're poor, we're having to invent our own superheroes. And so,
And like I told you offline, the challenge was motion simulators, because I'm a lazy person, and mine actually kind of keys off that DisneyQuest idea slightly.
Well, so does mine, and mine is garbage. So I'd like to go first this week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because, well, as I said earlier, when I first went to DisneyQuest, I did have the lovely experience of getting on the magic carpet with Abu and running into a wall. And I went, you know what? I need to base a ride off that. And so my ride is very similar to the magic carpet ride.
Oh, I thought it was about going to be running into a wall, like Super Alcoholic, the ride.
Oh, that would be great. No. I think this is going to be one... So, as we've said, it's not only do we have our own superheroes, every person who comes in is a superhero, so you get your own power and everything. And I came up with this idea that we established that there's this area where you can kind of get your own superhero certificate printed out, or your supervillain certificate. And yes. I think with that, you would get like a specialty card for certain rides that allows you to use your superpowers and stuff like that. That way you can kind of influence the ride.
Like a super band instead of a magic band.
Yeah, it's a super band. And that way the ride will know, like, oh, this is a hero. I will make it more hero-based, or the villain, I'll make it villain-based, and I will make it control, like, basically mine is you're laying down. It's like the, it's like the Tron bikes and the Tron roller coaster, where you're kind of just, like, laying down, and you've got a VR headset in front of you. And you're laying down to simulate that you're flying through air. So apparently every superhero has the power of flight in Apex now. And so it's simulating you. I guess, like, you could also have, like, a flight bike or something. Like, that way not everyone is Superman. Yeah. And it's essentially you go through this adventure just through a city, and it's just a generic adventure, but it allows you to be the superhero in the story. So how do I put this?
every single person is basically having their own experience one at a time.
Yeah.
I'm saying like you could probably do a room where like you could make the experience like a consistent, say, 7 minutes or something, and you'd have like a bunch of those seats.
Well,
kind of almost like a Pandora Flight of Passage, but without a screen in front of them. So that you'd go in and there'd be like 5 rows of seats, and you'd sit on each one and then lean down. But like what you're seeing isn't what the person next to you is seeing, or it's close, but maybe not if they're a villain and you're a hero.
Well, I almost like the idea that, like, if you're all hero, it could be, as we discussed, there's like 3 sections to the park: villain, hero, and then the middle is kind of like a battle area. This could be like a battle ride where the villains all go in one room, heroes go in all the other ones. And the reason why is because I really... When we rode... I've ridden the Aladdin ride twice. Once on my own...
Once well.
Once out of my own volition, the second time because there was a cute girl just like, Scottye, can we ride this? I love Aladdin. And I'm like, you won't love him after this. And so we got on it, and the best part of the ride for us was before basically the race started. You were able to kind of move Abu's head around because all of you were Abu, so you would look over and you would just see these 2 Abus staring at you and be like, what's up, dog? And so I love the idea of like you're this giant group of like 7 or 5, however many, like Justice League of heroes, and you look over and you see their avatar in midair. And as you guys go through, you get like, if you have fire powers, you can attack things with fire powers or ice powers. And it's kind of just like this big rail shooter, but you get to see the other people with you.
Yeah, I think the technology exists to do that. I'll back that.
Yeah, I think we could do that. So yeah, that's kind of what I came up with, was this giant... I don't know who our main villain would be.
Can my superhero be a Middle Eastern monkey?
Yeah!
Like I went to space and I came back as a monkey with a little fez on his head?
Yes, exactly. Super name, Abu. Damn it!
TM.
I think I just ran into a problem that Apex may have, which is... What's your superhero name? Iron Man. I can't... No, you can't do that. That's copyright. No, I am Iron Man. Say no to me. I'm the customer.
I type it in and it burns.
Yeah. It says I'm not allowed to be Superman? No, you're not. I'm sorry.
How about Stupendous Man? How about that? Is that good for you?
My super name is Greg. Fuck off.
Greg Apex.
The mighty Greg. Kneel before me. This is my associate, Neil. Go in first.
Oh my god.
I think I just invented the Bert and Ernie of superheroes, Neil and Greg. And they're just kind of like... They're just 2 old sassy gay guys, and they're just like, kneel before me. I hate that joke, Greg, but alright, let's go. They're like the Wonder Twins, but a whole lot sassier.
Greg's good out here.
Greg's good out here. Alright, so that's, I think on the villain side, those 2 are gonna be the people you have to defeat. Oh. And then, of course, like, I think on, like, the hero side, you would get cameo appearances from good old Juicy Peaches or Apex, like, all your favorites. That way you're like, oh, wow, they're here, too. And they're like, awesome, but you're doing a better job. You're a true hero. And then the villains, of course, you're a true hero, Greg. And then, of course, on the villain side, you'd have, like, Titan come along and be like, yes, destroy them all. Good work, my minions. Oh no, and this is it. The end of it is a shootout between the heroes and the villains. So you're laying down like Tron, and then you reach like this the end of like a Western shootout where it just like tilts you upwards. So you're standing up like in midair, and you have to shoot across in heroes versus villains. And I've now created a PvP section for the park.
This is laser tag, but you're stuck on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah, and then you're playing 10 dual commandments from Hamilton starts playing as you start tilting up. All right, so there's mine. That was mine that I just kind of improv comedied my way through.
You yes-anded straight to Greg and Neil.
Greg and Neil.
That might be better than Juicy Peaches.
Juicy Peaches, Greg and Neil, and Juicy Peaches. All right,
So,
that's my thunder.
Oh my god! So I decided to put my my motion simulator next to or near the superhero, the ride that you created where you find out what your superpower is by answering a multiple choice test, right?
Yeah.
So near that, again, I'm going with Craig Apex as an inspiration here. My idea was that he decided to basically use the theme park customers to focus group a superhero branded cartoon series.
Okay.
So the ride is called Supervision, 2 words. You go into a theater, and he just decided to make it a motion simulator because it's a theme park, and he was at least trying to stay on brand.
Yeah.
But you go into this theater, and there's a screen in front of you, and you sit down, and you go through scenes of like various like styles of cartoon featuring various heroes and villains, and then you can like kind of sort of pick which ones are good or bad, and based on how you answer, like maybe different effects might happen.
Oh, okay.
But the whole thing is, it's just this chintzy little like motion simulator ride where it's like instead of just watching the cartoon on a screen, you're actually kind of like living it, sort of.
Well, here was the idea
And his idea is basically whichever one's better is the one he's gonna like sell to the world.
Okay, now here's my idea, and I'm gonna blend my idea with yours.
Okay.
So it starts off and Greg Apex is pitching the cartoon to you guys. And it involves when Greg Apex was a lad in the 1930s during the Great Depression, canon now. TM. He loved to read a comic about a superhero duo called Neil and Greg. And at the time
they weren't very creative back in the 20s.
They were the ambiguously gay duo of the 1930s.
But gay meant happy back then, so it works out.
Yeah. And so they're going through the ride, and then like most of it, it's kind of in this old 1930s Mickey Mouse style. So they're just like, all right, I'm gonna defeat you, Bluto. Come on over.
They're all pie-eyed and.
Yeah. And so then halfway through, like whoever the villain of Greg and Neil, the best superheroes of all time. That's their catchphrase. We're the best superheroes of all time. Have you caught anybody? No.
So I think the villains' names will be Stan and Del.
Stand and Del?
Yeah, like Stand and Deliver, but shortened.
Oh, okay. Or we could always steal from Thor Ragnarok, Des and Troy.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, spoiler alert for the most important part, Des and Troy. And so Des and Troy are there, and so I don't know, I kind of like the 2 against 1 idea because they're so inept that they can only take down one dude. But I think he gets upset, but I also think he's kind of like a wacky Deadpool character, and the whole time you've been looking in on a theater, like you're sitting in a theater.
He knows he's in a theme park ride.
Yeah, he looks at you and goes, "No, you're coming with me."
Oh shit!
Grabs you, pulls you in. That's when the virtual reality helmets come down, and now you have to like fight alongside the world's greatest superheroes, Greg and Neil, to defeat Destroy.
That's one. Now he's one word.
Yeah, it's Des.Troy. And so you're flying through like this cool 1930s backdropped cartoon, fighting off people. And so but you still have if you have ice powers, it comes out, but it comes out like inked and looks really cool.
I'll take that.
So it's a nice blending of styles, I think, there. Which I think we may have just spoiled what the new Mickey Mouse ride is going to be.
No, I already saw that. I already know what it's going to be, so, yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Has it been announced?
Yeah,
can we talk them?
They had a event where they went through, scene by scene and showed, they didn't show everything, but they basically said, here's what every scene's going to kind of be, and they showed concept art and stuff.
Yeah. And it was almost exactly Los Tres Caballeros.
No, actually, it's you go in, and apparently it's going to have the same load and unload that the Great Movie Ride had, like the same area, but it's Goofy is driving a train, and you're the passengers on the back of the train. So I think Goofy's train thing is going to be some sort of an animatronic. And you go through a tunnel at the beginning, and while you're going through the tunnel, like Mickey and Minnie ride by you in another animatronic, and then like you're going to a picnic or some crap. But they're also trying to protect you because Goofy is a horrible train conductor. And then what happens after that is just hijinks ensue, and apparently
It says something about the quality of Goofy that he can't drive something on tracks.
Yeah, and apparently it's trackless, so that there will be times where, like, he might be in one area, and you're supposed to be, like, the 4 cars behind him, but, like, you're over here, and he's over there, and the person that was in front of you is up there, and then you're all separated, and there's waterfalls and other fun things.
And the waterfalls smell like peaches. They're stealing our ideas. This is bullshit.
Yeah, it's Goofy peaches.
Goofy. Oh, God. Well, Max, brought you some peaches. Yep. Oh, God. I know they just announced that they finally got clearance for
Tron.
I like once we're done with our ideas, we're like, awesome. Now let's talk about Disney some more. Yeah, that's what got me. I think the fact that I read about Tron getting highlighted is what made me go like, okay, cool. Well, my ride is going to be Tron-like, but also
that's going to be so large, like insanely large.
Tron's not only gonna be large, it's gonna be painful, I think.
I'm talking about like this, just the size of it because it's going to be right north of Space Mountain, so you're going to be like in the Contemporary eating, and it's like, okay, there's a big dome looking upside down pyramid there. There's a pyramid thing, and then right behind it's going to be this gigantic like light show.
Yeah. With just stuff flying through the sky. Okay, so yeah, I think we got some good ideas this week. We've blended our worlds together.
Although they also said that because of where they're putting the Main Street Theater, it's technically on Tomorrowland land.
Wait, the Main Street Theater is Tomorrowland?
Yeah, it's technically in Tomorrowland's property line or something, because the permit. Because I guess if it would have been on Main Street, they would have had to file 2 separate permits. But because it's far enough out, it's only on 1 permit. It's kind of like how if you're in Liberty Square, none of the bathrooms in Liberty Square are actually in Liberty Square. Like, they're all so far back in the buildings that they're technically in Fantasyland and Frontierland and stuff, because the Liberty Square wouldn't have had indoor bathrooms in the 1700s or whatever. So,
wow,
so there's
that's
trivia
weird.
for you. And also, there's the thing about the land in Liberty Square. In the middle is like a darker color than the outside of the sidewalk. Like, the middle of the sidewalk has this weird dark pattern through it, and that's basically supposed to be pee.
Oh, well, that's always good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like in the this is universal trivia, so this is my world. If you go, okay, so the Nickelodeon Studios that's been turned into
Blue Man Group.
Yeah, it's turned into Blue Man Group. There are I think if you go into like the employee area, there's still Nickelodeon stuff, but if you go into, it's either the women's or the men's restroom, there is still a giant pile of tiles on the ground that instead of being white like normal bathroom tiles are green, so it looks like gack. And I'm like, yes!
Wait.
There's slime in here!
Wait, is it... There's certain tiles. It's not like there's a pile of them just sitting in the corner. You could take one, because I would totally take one.
I wish.
Well, there's
you
still
just pry it up.
I think there's still the orange handrail on the outside of the building too. I don't know if they painted that yet.
They painted it, most unfortunately. Damn it!
Is Lori Beth Denberg's body like in a closet somewhere?
Oh God. Drake and Josh are hanging from the rafters still.
Figure this out.
Clarissa didn't know it all. Okay, now, it was tells it all, isn't it? Okay. So, I just now realized I have no idea what my challenge for next week is going to be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Give me a sec. We can just edit this bad boy out. Alright, Mr. Jim Murphy. Now I've known since the beginning exactly what the challenge I'm going to give you is going to be. I'm not biding my time at all. I know exactly the words I'm about to say. And that is that you and I will have to come up with a musical-based ride.
Oh no.
It doesn't have to be a ride. It can be like Country Bears, like some animatronic bullshit. But no, there's gotta be singing and dancing, and I want you to bring your A game.
Fun story about how you said ride and you could have said attraction.
Yeah.
Apparently among Imagineers, at least the older set, like the ones that are mostly gone, apparently if they called something a ride, that was their way of basically saying that it was complete shit.
Oh wow. Well,
so
we're coming up.
Yes,
we're coming up with some rides.
So, because apparently when Disney's California Adventure first opened, and like Marty Sklar and Herb Ryman and stuff are like walking through it, and somebody from a newspaper's like, "How do you like it?" And he's like, and Herb Ryman just looks at him. He's like, "Well, they're nice rides." and he said it like completely sincere, but to anyone that knew him, it was just like he just called your whole park shit.
All right. Well, Mr. Jim Murphy, where can they find you
good Lord.
on the internet?
I'm on Twitter at apparently smart, and I'm also at the Opposite Attractions website, still trying to build my theme park. It's taken a bit of like I said, we had a bad week last week scheduling wise, so I'm a little off the wagon. I'm gonna get back on, I promise.
That's all right. And you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo. That's SCOTTYEMO. You can buy my book on Amazon. It's called Queasel Corp, A Tale of Dicks and Douchebags. That's spelled QUEZALCORP. Make sure to check out this podcast and all the other amazing BS Network products over on aloadofpurebs.com. You can check out all of our merchandise over at merch.aloadofpurebs.com in the BS Network section. Make sure to check out, we've got YouTube stuff going on. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that. I'm sorry I've not been posting. There were Anglo-Saxon Protestants in my internet taking control, and I couldn't handle it. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, make sure to rate and subscribe. Or if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us much better ideas that are way better if you have an idea for a ride. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us at opposite-attractions.com. And you can find both of us beautiful bastards on Twitter and the Facebook at OPP. ATTSHOW. That's Op at Show. Are you down with OPP?
Please exit the podcast to your right, and don't forget your personal belongings. Oh, and welcome home.